Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Lions franchise. I hope you all are having a great Monday. Just before we get started, if you do enjoy this video, please leave a like, and if you like content like this and other Madden gameplay, please hit the subscribe button. I try to get videos out as soon as possible, even though these take a while to make sometimes. But enough about my channel. Let's get right into the off-season special. It's been a long year. I've really enjoyed playing the games, somehow getting to the playoffs with Blake Bortles, and ultimately collapsing to the Packers for the third time this year. So let's just get straight into this. Let's start with retirements. We got some really big names here. Mercedes Lewis for the Packers, who beat us pretty hard, badly. Drew Brees, Danny Amendola, Adrian Peterson, Greg Olsen, Larry Fitzgerald. A shocking Geno Atkins and Alex Smith retirement. Calais Campbell, Andrew Whitworth, Jason Witten, Adam Vinatieri, Frank Gore, Deshaun Jackson, Ted Ginn, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, and Terrell Suggs are some of the names. You can see all of them here. And now on to re-signs. We had three players I wanted to re-sign. Matt Prater, who denied this contract. Everson Griffin, who denied his contract offer. And then we got Jamal Agnew, 3 years, $11.6 million. I think he's going to be a good addition to the team. We're going to be changing up the offense this year. He's going to have a massive role. So this isn't just kick returner money. And not to mention, he is a superstar. Unless he regressed, I don't remember. For free agency, we have a big move. I said it just a minute ago that we want a new offense. Well, we're going to take that a new step. I'm going to trade Matthew Stafford because I don't think he wants to be in Detroit anymore. Remember, in real life, he got traded to the Rams. So we're going to try to follow that with some realism, and we're going to trade him to the Jets. It's going to be Stafford, our round one pick, and a 2022 7th for Blake Cashman, a linebacker, who's really pretty solid. Their first round pick, which is pick number 3, and their third round pick 90. And this also frees up some cap space so we can make some moves. And we did make a few moves. We have Demir Bird for a 3-year, $12 million contract. Younghoe Koo, remember we couldn't re-sign Prater, so it's a 4-year, $15 million contract. We'll never have to worry about kicker again. Kai Naka, some depth for 2 years, $3.5 million, and Cravon LeBlanc, 2 years, $5.16 million. Just some recap. The top 10 free agents. Trent Williams went to the Baltimore Ravens. Richard Sherman went to the Colts. So did Will Fuller. Marcus Williams went to the Ravens. James Conner went to the Dolphins. Rob Gronkowski went to the Colts. They're really gearing up for reloading, going back to the Super Bowl. Earl Thomas to the Jets. Bud Dupree to the Cardinals. Todd Gurley to the football team. And Jared Cook to the Bengals. So that just leaves us with the draft, and let's get started. The first overall pick, the Vikings do not select a quarterback. They select defensive tackle Kirk Coleman out of Notre Dame, 77 overall. And here comes our pick, and to keep things realistic, we got a top 3 pick. We're going to spend it on a quarterback. It's a massive reach. He's a 4th rounder, but I'm getting my guy. And you're going to see the offense we're going to run. It's going to be Riley Chambers, the quarterback out of Texas A&M. 66 overall, which is kind of a killer, but trust me, that's just really awareness. He's actually a pretty decent quarterback, and you'll see in the gameplay we have, he can really play. 93 speed. He's going to outrun some DBs. It's going to be a lot of fun. Pick 9, the Chicago Bears take Connor Triplett, net rusher out of Alabama, 74 overall, really good, bolstering their defensive line, which is already insane. Pick 31, the Packers get a defensive end, Quinston Grimes, a 71 overall. Again, an already amazing defensive line. They're just getting a lot better. So we won't worry about the divisional rivals picks from now on. Our second round pick, we take Jerry Knox. We scouted him the Super Bowl week. He's a 69 overall, nice, out of Missouri, and he's might be a good depth piece. We might start him a couple weeks. I think, honestly, we're going to get a little bit of a rotation going on at right tackle, get Jerry some development, and so on. For our third round pick, we have 2 third-round picks. So they're actually back-to-back. Jermaine Langley, a safety out of Michigan State, 67 overall, which is kind of a killer. I thought he'd be a little bit better, but he's going to plug in, and he might actually start for us. Our safety room isn't that good. And then our next pick, we got Damian Gary, a guard out of Notre Dame, and he's a 70 overall hidden dev, which is huge. It's actually going to be one of the best players in the draft class because of that, and I'm really glad he's going to be a day 1 starter at right guard. And we just go on to our next pick. We're going to take a wide receiver, Tommy George, out of Indiana State, 68 overall. Good depth piece. We only really have 3 receivers right now. It's Galladay, Marvin Jones, and now Damiere Byrd. So this depth is really necessary. And we're going to attack that with our 5th round pick, too, Brandon Gilmore, the wide receiver out of Navy, 70 overall. I think he could be a good return piece our first year. Maybe if Damiere Byrd doesn't really work out for us, he can get involved in the offense. I think we did give Byrd a 3-year contract, but maybe year 2, year 3, we can start putting Gilmore in the slots role that Bird's going to be filling. And then our 6th round pick, our final pick, is going to be Adrian Rogers, a safety out of Ohio State. Just a good depth piece, which we kind of need. So the draft's over, and the highest overall was Kurt Coleman, the defensive tackle out of Notre Dame. It's honestly one of the weaker draft classes I saw. Unfortunately, you don't see the dev traits in this screen. I wish you could. But yeah, not really. No one over 77. No 80s or anything like that. I wish, draft classes, I really haven't drafted much. Franchise hasn't been that fun, so this is the only thing keeping me playing franchise, honestly. Are most classes like this? Because I feel like we should usually get like at least one game-changing player a year. Like that one guy that deserves to be 80-something overall and is going to be a day one massive impact. So we're going to get on to the preseason. We're only going to be playing one game. It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. So let's get right into the highlights. So let's get things started. Tom Brady hands the football first. A team that was a shocking miss of the playoffs. Even though they won the Super Bowl in real life, they didn't do anything in this series. As you see that first screen completion to Ronald Jones. Now Brady alone in the backfield. With Everson Griffin out, we're going to have Jamie Collins play a lot more edge as Romeo Okwara, I believe, gets the roughing the passer call here. And on the Buccaneers' opening drive, they have to settle for a 50-plus yard field goal, which they push to the left. But yeah, our defense is going to be shaked up a bit. Brian Cashman's going to be playing. We'll still have Jelani Tavai out there. And now we have Chambers out there for his first NFL drive. Granted, this is the postseason. And unfortunately, he's going to be given a 3rd and 18. But you got Kenny Galladay with the X Factor. And with his first deep completion of his career, he finds Galladay all the way to the 23-yard line. A 41-yard reception. And now we're approaching the red zone. We're going to be using a lot more pistol formations. You can see we have to come 2-back formations with Agnew and Swift. And here's Damiere Byrd. You can be like that third running back going in motion a lot as Chambers keeps it on the option. He's got a lot of space, and he's got his first career touchdown. The Lions get a 7-point lead on their opening drive. And a great drive by Chambers. The defense played pretty well on their opening drive. They bent but didn't break, as that's a wide open Chris Godwin into Lions territory. And that will do it for Tom Brady. And in comes Josh Rosen and the backup offense and defense, as he'll look to throw on the outside. It's caught by Jake Kumaro, the ex-Bills receiver and Packer. Approaching the red zone, they'll set up the screen to Vaughn. And Vaughn gets a couple blocks, and one defender just stares at him. He's inside the 10. It's goal to go, Tampa Bay. They have a 3rd down and goal. Lions doing a lot more bending. Can they keep him out of the end zone? Rosen to throw to the end zone. It's intercepted by Everett. And he's going to be tackled in the end zone. That's a touchback. And Detroit has a rare takeaway. They didn't take the ball away at all against the Buccaneers in the regular season matchup. It's great to see in the preseason these backups are playing well. As here's Agnew. He's going to be getting most of the running back snaps in the rest of this game. He gets a gain of 12 here. This is going to be usually the preseason. The backup gets 3 quarters. I'm having Chambers in for this entire game. We're going to get a look at how well he plays. And how about that deep ball to Jesse James? He's almost at 100 yards already. And now we're approaching the red zone. And Riley Chambers, how about that throw? On the move to Jamal Agnew for the touchdown, man. The Lions are up 14. after the 2-pointer. And we'll see if the defense can keep playing well. The one thing I don't like, because I only have a 54-man roster, is that's called by Watson, and there's a rough in the passer call, is I only have 54 players on the roster, so starters will still play. It's just a thing with Madden. I didn't feel like using the cap space, which we didn't have, and it's just a problem as Rosen goes down by Summers. The Buccaneers heading quickly to the line. And Rosen with all kinds of time. Wide open is Vaughn. Out of bounds at the 44 of Detroit. But they don't do anything, so we get the ball back at the 20. Riley Chambers with his first career 2-minute drill. He's going to uncork it for Gilmore. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jackson. And the Buccaneers have a chance to get on the scoreboard before half. The first career takeaway by Riley Chambers. Hopefully they're few and far between as Watson gets into Detroit territory. And the Buccaneers settle for a field goal. They'll head into halftime down 14-3. This is more of a condensed game, so you won't see every first down and every third down So Rosen gets the ball back. Let's see what he can do. Trying to get their first touchdown of the preseason. There's Watson again. He's having a pretty good preseason. Of course, all the backups in. Is with a blitz. Rosen with a wide open Kumaro, and he's in the red zone. And the Buccaneers are looking to make it a one-score game. Defense have played really well. Granted, these are only 5-minute quarters, so they haven't really been tested. But, you know, considering how they played against Tom Brady, as they give up the touchdown, I give that, really great first-half performance. A couple of dumb penalties, but, they've gotten dumb penalties all game. So closing minutes of the third quarter. Buccaneers down by 5, and Riley Chambers, there's the 93 speed. He's all the way to the 40-yard line, just like that, running away from Vita Vea. And this is where Riley Chambers is going to be so dangerous on those read option plays. He's on the move, sets his feet, and throws to Gilmore. What a throw. And that's his first catch of his career. Now the Lions back on the move. We're trying to get in the end zone again. And to Brandon Gilmore once again in the red zone. And now Gilmore's having a good showing. We might try to get him some snaps earlier than later, as we turn the ball over, but we get the ball back, and here's Chambers again. Riley Chambers slides down after a gain of 10. You can see that I've sound like a broken record, but that 93 speed is just game-breaking. It's going to be a great offense as Agnew makes a move, and he's inside the 30. So trying to milk these last minutes of the preseason away. Here's Jesse James, and he breaks a tackle. I'm liking what I see from Jesse James. If he can blank like he is right now, he's going to be a great backup to TJ Hawkinson, who didn't really play. Of course, we can't find the end zone, so of course we're going to fake the field goal. I put Riley Chambers in there one more time, and that's easy. And we sim the game from here, so we win it 21-16. How about that? We end up going undefeated in the preseason. I simmed the rest of the games. As you see, we win 16-21. And now we'll go on to the preseason cuts. We had one to make, but we signed someone, so we have 2 players to cut. Nick Bowden, the fullback, I don't think we're going to use him. I think instead of the traditional fullback and the pistol sets, we're going to be using Jamal Agnew. So we get more of a speed threat inside on those inside runs. And John Ursura, who I don't think played it down in the preseason game. We did sign Khalfani Muhammad, the ex-Bronco running back, a 66 overall. He's a home run threat, so if Agnew were to go down, he's going to be stepping up. And on to the depth chart. Let's start on offense. Riley Chambers, QB1. Chase Daniels is the backup. Jamal Agnew, like I said, he's going to be technically the fullback, but that's just to make it easier. I'm going to be doing all of the formation subs. We're not going to be using the live playbook this time around. We have DeAndre Swift, Kerryon Johnson, and Muhammad as our running backs. Kenny Galladay, Marvin Jones, Demir Bird, Brandon Gilmore. It's just going to be a great wide receiver group for Riley Chambers. We're going to be running the football a lot, but when we do have to pass, it's going to be easy on him with a 98 overall receiver. TJ Hawkinson and Jesse James are our tight ends. I might sign a third and cut someone. I'll let you know if we do it at the start of the first game. Then our offensive line, pretty much the same. Taylor Decker, Jonah Jackson, Frank Ragnow, Crosby are all the same. Then we have Damon Gary. With this head in depth, we're going to have to start him. He's already our highest rated right guard. I think this is going to be a really good offense this year. The defense, it changes a little bit. Danny Shelton, Romeo Okwara, Trey Flowers, Jamie Collins. That's a good defensive line group. Well, I wouldn't say it's a pretty decent one. It will do its job against most teams. Of course, the better offensive lines will probably eat us up. Linebackers, Blake Cashman, Jelani Tavai, and Summers. Collins will have some linebacker reps. Christian Jones will. I think it's going to be... linebackers really don't matter in Madden. They either cover everything or they cover nothing, so it'll be good enough. Our secondary, Jeff Okuda, Desmond Trufant, Justin Coleman, the same three corners from last year. Of course, we have Crayvon LeBlanc and Amani Uarie. We have Tracy Walker, Nakwa. I think I might start Langley at free safety instead, so we get him some development time. On to the specialists, of course. Fox and Younghoe Koo, the Pro Bowler Fox, I might add. For our returners, we have Brandon Gilmore and Joe Thomas at punt return. I think just get Gilmore some snaps early on. We'll see how he plays. If he's a game breaker, we'll put him in that slot role that Demir Bird played for a few snaps you saw in the preseason game. Finally, our specialists, Justin Coleman's our nickel corner. Defensive line, same pretty much as last year without Everson Griffin. Sub linebacker, Cashman and Tavai. Slot wide receiver, Demir Bird. Third down back is DeAndre Swift. And power back is Kerryon Johnson. That's a lot of info. So let's get on to the schedule. Just a little bit more in 2021. Is a pretty difficult schedule. And that is going to be completely honest. We start at Arizona. It's going to be a revenge game for last year when we blew them out with Chase Daniel, I believe that game was. I think that was before Blake Bortles. That we're going to get them first. Of course, we face Bud Dupree, who they signed. Week 2, we have the LA Rams. It's going to be another tough matchup. I believe they still have Jared Goff. And, of course, you face Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey. It's going to be a really tough matchup. We might not get the ground game established. Week 3, we place the Packers early on at home. This is going to be a tough matchup. It always has been. We've been blown out 3 times. Week 4, we have a primetime game against the Eagles. It's going to be fun. We play the Pro Bowler Fletcher Cox, 2 Pro Bowl corners, Avonte Maddox, and I forget the other one. I don't think the other one's on the team anymore. It's going to be a fun offense with Jalen Hurts, unless they're still starting Wentz. I don't remember how this franchise unfolded. Week 5, we have our second matchup of the Packers, so we get those games out of the way early on. Week 6 is a Monday night game against the Niners. Always want to play against the Shanahan outside zone scheme, although I doubt it's as good as it is in real life in Madden. Week 7, we have our first matchup. It's going to be a tune-up game against the Vikings. We probably need it. Week 9, we have our bye week, week 8. By the way, we play the Bears for the first time. We split the series with them last year. It's going to be a fun game. Week 10 is the Pittsburgh Steelers, who made it to the AFC Conference Championship game before getting defeated by the Colts. It's going to be an interesting matchup. I believe they still have Ben Roethlisberger, so we'll see how washed he is. Week 11, Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. Always a tough matchup to defend. Week 12, we have our second game against the Bears. It's pretty much an annual Thanksgiving game between these two teams at this point. Week 13 against the Vikings, our second game. Hopefully another tune-up game before we have this final stretch of 4 games, which is going to be really difficult. We have at Baltimore, who's the scheme we're trying to replicate. Funnily enough, Week 15 at Tampa Bay, another difficult matchup against Tom Brady. Week 16 against the Browns, primetime game. They were the 1 seed, despite getting blown out by the Colts. Then Week 17 against the Bengals, which might be for playoff implications. Of course, Joe Burrow it's going to be a fun game, hopefully. They don't have Geno Atkins anymore, so we'll see how good that defensive line is. So Week 1 of 2021 kicks off with Thursday Night Football between the Colts and the San Francisco 49ers. The Colts will raise their banner. On to the Sunday slate of games. We have Panthers football team, Buccaneers, Eagles, Bears, Falcons, Broncos, Browns, Jaguars, Texans, Steelers, Ravens, Jets, Dolphins, Raiders, Chiefs, Cowboys, Chargers in the later window, Rams, Titans, Vikings, Bengals. We play the Cardinals. And on Sunday Night Football, we have Packers, Giants. And on Monday night, we have a doubleheader with the Patriots, Bills, and Saints, Seahawks ending us off. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you next time when we face the Arizona Cardinals.